Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we are heading deep into the rainforest canopy to focus on a predator whose name alone sounds almost mythical. We've been going through the research on the Harpy eagle, a creature sometimes called the killer witch of the jungle.
Yeah, that's a pretty dramatic name, but when you see this bird, you get it. Our mission today is to unpack the why. Why is it so formidable? We're going to get into its unique biology, its cultural weight in Central and South America, and of course, its hyper-specialized hunting techniques.
And its role in the ecosystem, which is huge.
Exactly. And what's so fascinating right from the start is that this bird is the only species in its entire genus, Harpia. It's completely unique.
One of a kind. And when you learn what it can do, that makes sense. But let's start with the hook. The thing that defines its power. We're talking about its talons.
Oh, the talons.
They're the size of a grizzly bear's claw. And it uses them with, over 100 kilograms of pressure? It just crushes its prey instantly. So, okay, let's unpack this royal raptor.
Well, the name itself is the perfect place to start. The English name, Harpy eagle, it comes directly from ancient Greek mythology.
Right. The harpies, they were these, half-human, half-bird monsters that snatched away evildoers with these long, sharp claws.
And that's the connection. That image of snatching things with powerful claws, it's bang on for this eagle.
Visually, though, it's not hideous at all. It's stunning. It's got this stately gray head, white belly, and then a black back and wings. But the real trademark is that crown of feathers on its head.
The double crest. Yeah, It can raise and lower it, especially when it feels threatened.
Yeah.
And when that crest is up, it looks incredibly imposing.
That's why in Brazil they call it gavião real, right? The royal hawk.
Exactly. It gives it that regal look. And it's so iconic that you'll find this interesting. It was actually the inspiration for the look of fox.
Yeah.
Dumbledore's phoenix in the Harry Potter films.
No way.
Yeah.
Okay, I could totally see that now. But let's move from mythology to the hard numbers. I mean, this is one of the largest eagles in the world.
Absolutely. When it's perched, it can stand over 1 meter tall. Think about that. That's about the height of a preschooler.
Wow.
Its weight is actually pretty modest for its size, around 6 to 9 kilos. But the females are always, and I mean noticeably, larger than the males.
And when it takes flight, that scale just becomes something else.
It's massive. The wingspan can reach up to 2.3 meters. But here's the detail that really gets me. Its legs. They're often described as being as thick as a human arm.
So it's all built for power, for crushing. Which brings us back to those talons, 10 centimeters long.
10 centimeters. It's a weapon system designed to end a fight before it even begins. It's just decisive.
And where can you find this powerhouse? It's all over Central and South America, right? From Mexico down to Argentina.
It is, but the key word is fragmented. Its territory is huge, but it's broken up. So seeing one, even in Brazil where they're most common, is incredibly rare.
That rarity must add to its mystique.
It does. I mean, it's the national bird of Panama. And in some indigenous cultures in Brazil, they see it as the spirit of a former chief. It commands this deep respect.
Okay, so we've got a massive, revered icon with a devastating set of tools. Let's pivot to how it actually uses those tools to dominate the rainforest.
Yeah, this is where it gets really fascinating. It's this perfect marriage of raw power and almost surgical precision.
And that precision starts with its senses. Its eyesight is something like 8 times more powerful than a human's. It can see a tiny monkey from 200 meters away.
That vision is key because, funnily enough, its sense of smell is pretty terrible, almost embarrassing. But it makes up for it with incredible hearing. It can hear things rustling in the leaves from way up in the canopy.
And when it decides to move, it's silent.
Utterly silent. They can hit speeds of around 80 kilometers per hour in short bursts, but their real talent isn't just speed, it's agility.
Right, because they're hunting in a forest, not an open field.
Exactly. They use those long tail feathers like a rudder to make these incredibly sharp turns around trees, all while keeping their speed up. It's phenomenal to think about.
So this leads to 2 main hunting strategies, I gather.
That's right. The first one is just patience. A harpy can sit on a branch, perfectly still, for an entire day, just waiting for something to walk by underneath it.
The passive approach.
Yeah.
But they're not always passive.
Not at all. The other strategy is an active scour. They'll hop from branch to branch, moving through the canopy, actively looking for prey. And when they spot something, the attack is like lightning.
And that's when that 100-kilo crushing force comes in.
Yeah.
It's not a struggle. The kill is instant. The bones are crushed before the prey even knows what's happening.
And that power helps with the logistics, too. If the prey is too heavy to fly back to its nest, which, by the way, can be 1.5 meters wide,
Yeah.
It'll just eat some of it on the spot to lighten the load before taking the rest home. It's incredibly efficient. One big kill can last for days, maybe even a whole week.
They're masters of energy management. So let's talk about the menu. What are the go-to meals for the king of the canopy?
Well, they're mostly after mammals that live in the trees. So, different kinds of monkeys, spider monkeys, capuchins, howler monkeys, also iguanas, sometimes even a small deer.
But there's one animal they hunt more than any other.
The sloth, yes. The sloth is, for better or worse, the harpy eagle's favorite meal.
I guess it makes sense. They're slow, they're alone, they're an easy target, even if the research calls them a scrawny, algae-laden, and parasite-infested snack.
It's the jungle's slow-moving convenience food. And, unlike monkeys, which are fast and can gang up to try and fight back, a sloth has.
Well, it has no defense at all.
It sounds so ruthless.
Mm.
But this is the paradox, right? This brutal hunting is actually essential for the health of the rainforest.
It's a classic case of ecological balance. By preying on herbivores, animals that eat leaves and seeds, like sloths and monkeys, the eagles keep those populations in check. Without them, you'd have too many herbivores, and they'd start to damage the forest's ability to regenerate. So they're not just predators, they're gardeners, in a way.
They're what we call an umbrella species. And this is such a cool concept. It means that if you protect the harpy eagle and its habitat, you automatically protect hundreds of other species, plants, and animals that live under that same umbrella.
So the top predator is actually the key to saving everyone else. It's an amazing idea.
Mhm.
What about their social life? You hear they're loyal partners, but their parenting style is tough.
Very tough. They mate for life, and they're known to be affectionate. They'll chirp at each other, rub their beaks together. They share all the duties, from hunting to maintaining that enormous nest.
But then come the eggs.
Yeah, that's where the harsh reality of the rainforest kicks in. The female lays 2 eggs, but they only ever raise 1 chick.
Only one. What happens to the other?
If both hatch, the parents will just ignore the weaker one. They let it starve. It sounds brutal, but raising even 1 harpy chick takes so much energy and so many resources that they simply can't manage 2.
And that rearing process takes a very long time.
It's a huge commitment. The surviving chick is fed by its parents for about 10 months. It takes 3 years before it gets its full adult coloring. And even after it can hunt for itself, it tends to stick around the home nest for a while.
So that slow process must have massive implications for their population.
It's their biggest vulnerability. Because it takes so long to raise 1 chick, the female only lays eggs every 2 or 3 years. They can live for about 30 years, but that slow reproductive rate makes them incredibly susceptible to threats.
And those threats are here. We're talking about deforestation.
It's the biggest one driven by human activity. You have huge mining operations and massive monoculture farms for things like soy and palm oil. They just clear out everything.
So it's not just that the forest is disappearing, it's that what's left is broken into tiny islands.
Exactly. Fragmentation. It makes it almost impossible for young eagles to find their own territory, find a mate. They get isolated.
And now the harpy eagle is officially a threatened species. Estimates are down to maybe 50,000 left in the entire world.
It's sobering. A creature this powerful, this dominant, being brought to the brink. It really tells you everything about the fragility of the entire ecosystem.
So we've covered the grizzly bear talons, the 100-kilo crush force, the silent, agile hunting, and this incredible role as an umbrella species.
The main takeaway for me is that the harpy eagle isn't just an animal in the rainforest. Its existence is a measure of the health of the rainforest. If the harpy disappears, it means the whole system is collapsing.
It's a profound, powerful force of nature, and one we clearly need to understand better.
Which leaves us with a final thought for you to mull over. We've talked about how the harpy's evolution led it to this slow, reproductive cycle laying eggs only every 2 to 3 years. Given the current rapid rate of habitat destruction, does that slow cycle and adaptation for a stable world now make the harpy eagle fundamentally more vulnerable to extinction than other big predators that breed faster? It makes you wonder if evolution in this case has accidentally become a weakness in the modern world. Something to think about.